December 14th, 2020, Sheldon Whiteboard meeting. New business, we have some library trustee resignations. Letter here for that. Police, St. Albans Police Dispatch contract. Oh, yeah, that's right. Approved letter to be mailed for town meeting. Approved meeting minutes. Signed warrants. Old business employee policy. Okay. Resignations. It appears that we have a letter here from Heather Grant has resigned, and Olivia Dominic has agreed to fill her spot until town meeting in 21. Also, Billie Jean Smith is resigning as they are moving out of state. So there's a vacancy, but I would assume that they'll be up for filling it in the next meeting.
Was Billie Jean set to expire this year?
Gee, I don't know. Could be.
I think she was.
Yeah. Could be.
But we can just still vote the town meeting, right? We don't
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. John Gordon is here now. We're going to hold him up, so I'll listen to what John has to say.
Okay.
You're fine right there.
All right. I'm here on behalf of the Sheldon Methodist Church. There is a grant opportunity called Better Places Program. And the Better Places Program provides placemaking grants ranging from $5,000 to $20,000 to improve the vitality of state-designated downtowns, village centers, or town centers, or neighborhood development areas. Okay, and we are the designated town center, and the church is in the boundary of the designated town center. So we're looking to apply for a grant to put in some playground equipment beside the food shelf building. We would put the equipment behind on the side that faces Dufresne's, between the building and the mound section and the mound surface. There's a pretty good big flat area that we could put a relatively simple playground set. I just had a kind of an example. Basically, something would have a couple of 2 or 3 swings, maybe a couple of different slides, and a climbing wall. You know, something really, really simple, but something it would be open to the public at all times, whether the food shelf is open or not. It would be available. We would have it posted that it's available for the public to use all the time. The application deadline is the 22nd of January, and eligible applicants include municipalities, local community groups, or nonprofit entities with documented municipal support. So I'm here tonight to ask, I've drafted a letter, if the select board would agree to support us in applying for that grant.
Okay.
I think we probably wouldn't go, if you look like this, like the playground equipment, like you have it down at school and they have over at Fairfield School, those things cost like $10,000. I mean, they're like horribly expensive. So we wouldn't do anything quite that fancy. I'm figuring somewhere in the range of $3,000 to $5,000. It says up to $5,000. So somewhere in the range of $3,000 to $5,000. There's only $90,000 available in this whole program for everybody in the state. So obviously we asked for $20,000. We wouldn't have much of a chance of getting it. But I think if we ask for $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, we should be able to, we should at least have a chance of getting it.
You guys have enough insurance? Somebody got hurt on the playground?
Yeah, so I checked with our insurance agent because the church is insured through the New England Conference, and I checked with our conference insurance people, And our liability insurance would cover if we have a play. In fact, it's very common for churches to have a playground area. So our liability insurance would cover for any injury. We basically would use the grant to buy the equipment, and I think we would be able to do the, we would do the installation
Are you
ourselves.
thinking of that this grant would fund a portion of your project?
I think the grant, if the grant would fund us buying, would fund the actual purchase of the set, a swing set, and I think here. So this is just kind of an example that I pulled off. This is something at Costco. You can see it has like 3 swings, 2 different slides, and a climbing wall, and a little climbing wall. That's the kind of thing that we would be looking to put up. This one is like $1,900, like only $1,500. It's probably not quite as rugged as what we want. We would probably need to go up a little, go up a little higher in quality to make sure it would last. But if the grant will simply buy the playground, we can do all the rest. We can set it up, put in all the rules. You got to put mulch in underneath it.
So
You got to have your mulch and everything. And we can do all that. We can do all that.
And then you're basically going to apply, and this is sort of a lottery for the state in some regards. So whether you receive it or not, you're hoping for the best.
That's right. That's right. If we don't get it, okay, we don't get it. But
You won't get it unless you apply.
That's right. If we don't apply, we definitely won't get it.
Right. Well, at least sort of sense to me.
Given that there isn't any other, here in this town center area, the Sheldon Town Center area, there isn't any other playground in the town center area. So that's kind of what I mentioned that in my grant request. I say, hey, there isn't any other playground here in the town center area. So this is our chance to create one. And I say it would be open to the public at all times. So
Either of you guys got any questions on that?
Nope.
Yeah, I might have missed it. Was there a percentage match the town does for the grant?
No, there's no, the only requirement is that we have the support of the town. That's the only requirement. There doesn't have to be any match.
They don't need
Okay.
financial support, they just need
Approval.
town support, I guess.
Since we're a nonprofit, basically the town has to agree. Also, if this were going to encroach, any landowner would have to agree. Well, in this case, the church is the landowner. This will be put on. It'll be put on between the purchase, the land we just purchased from Ted Cleary, or in the land we've already owned. It will be on our land. So we are the landowner. If we weren't the landowner, if this were a nonprofit trying to do it someplace else, they would have to have the permission of the landowner saying, yes, we'll let you do whatever it is you're going to do to the property. But in this case, we're the landowner, so we should be fine.
Well, I'll make a motion, we support this project.
I'll accept the motion. All those in favor of supporting the project? Or is there any more discussion? No.
Nope.
Right? Those that will support the project will signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, very good then. We'll sign the letter.
Okay, yeah.
You'll be on your way.
And I'll be on my way.
Thank you, John, for the
Thank
letter.
you.
Good luck. You can get the.
Yeah, you even got your name on there.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, and thank you all.
Yeah, well, John.
Good luck, John.
Good luck with your.
We continue to, just for, it's a quick one, we continue for the last 4 months in a row. Every month we've set a new record for the number of families that come. Last month we served 236 families, about almost 700 people, and we're distributing about 25,000 pounds of food a month right now.
You got enough food coming in to keep up with it, right?
Yes, we've had donations come. I've received several other grants. We also just got a $7,500 grant to put in an emergency generator. So we'll be installing an emergency generator, so if we lose power, we don't lose all the food in the freezer and the cooler and destroy the heating system. But we had all kinds of operating grants. Cubby Board once a month, kind of in between my month, halfway between my regular monthly delivery from the food bank. Cubby Board sends a Board of Brothers box truck to Barrie and brings back about 8,000 pounds of food for me once a month. And he said he will continue to do that as long as we need it. So we have been able to get our hands on a lot of food so far. So
Good.
but thank you very much, and thanks for the support of the town.
Have a good night, John. Jamie's here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's okay.
You're in the corner,
Yeah.
not making any noise.
You weren't making any noise. He came right, it's like, yeah, excuse me.
It's fine. I'm just here because I have this error remission certificate that I have to submit at the end of the year.
Sure.
And we have 4 items on here. It's all from personal property, things that were submitted in the system, and these places no longer have equipment in our town, or the number was entered in incorrectly. This was all redone before I was here. So it's not large amounts, but I have to submit it to the town clerk. So I have to have it signed and approved by the select board.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fun little thing.
yeah.
That this is what it looks like.
We're not gonna. Yeah,
Thank goodness.
PNC.
I think there are a lot of machines that used to be at the store here in the creek,
Yeah.
like lottery machines and other types of machines
Yeah,
around town.
bizarre amounts of. Yeah. Bizarre amounts of. Yeah. Sign here on the back, probably somewhere. No clerk.
I think you're up to, like, this is the select board.
Okay.
Yeah,
We need to get through.
it's all right.
Whatever.
It's no rush, it's by the end of the month.
Okay. We're here. We'll sign what we need to sign. What's the day anyway? 14. That's right. Big money.
No, big money. But they definitely let you
It's
know.
all detail.
They do let you know.
That's what keeps bureaucracy going, detail. Right? And I see Marine Briat here is doing, she doesn't need to do that anymore. Put that sticky note with.
Oh, sorry, Greg.
Oh.
You have to sign this column.
Oh. Oh. Well, that's cute. You'll have to wait that out.
You can become a lister too.
Yeah, be careful.
Careful what you wish for.
Be careful what I do here. Yeah.
So who was next on the list after Murray?
Mike Passaggio.
He won it.
Yes.
Nice to see.
But do we have to have that approved through the government? Or is it just approved through the select board?
Well,
It's been covered.
I actually got voted in. We're all right in, so.
Yeah. That person resigned.
And he was the next one and
There
he
you go.
accepted it, so.
Yeah.
He's been there before, so.
Yeah. All right, so we'll make a note in the minutes that we're gonna, that Michael's been appointed, right?
Well, if you want to.
Yeah, we're gonna, I'll take a motion to appoint in that, there's another resignation here. I went over that, well, I guess it wasn't labeled, but Marie Briette is, resigning from the Justice of the Peace due to health, and I'm no longer driving, her note says here. Thanks to all the support I've had as Justice, Marie Briette. So in light of that, we'll go to the next, yeah. The voting there, the next candidate in line would be Michael Consejo. Michelle, I should say. And I take a motion to appoint him as to replace Marie Briette.
I'll make that motion.
Very good. Accepted. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, that little bit of business is done. Michelle's been in that position. He's been justice in the past. So that being said. There you go. Okay. Dispatch contract. Where's that right here? This is pretty much straight. Nobody else doing it. Unless we do that, so I'll just sign this. I would assume it's same. Is the increase, is there, how much is the increase? I got $26,784. All right, it all comes out of the town's pockets.
Yeah, I know, but I was just trying to figure out where it is in here. It's,
Is that under dispatching and public safety?
Yeah,
yeah,
What was the amount?
26, this new amount is $26,784.
Wow.
yeah. Fire department was 13,183, and the public safety one was 11,845. So you're looking at 20, 24, 20.
Just so we know.
About 25,000.
It went up $1,000 or more.
Yeah.
All right.
But like you said, we don't have a whole lot of choices.
Nope. So I'm gonna sign this and we're gonna accept the print name.
When's that start? When's our contract go from?
I think it was from January.
9 day. This agreement is made 9th day of 11/20/21. Well,
I think it starts in January.
yeah.
All right. So we can adjust our budget this year for the increase.
Don't make any sense. Why would they write that down like that? This agreement is made. This agreement is made this 9 day of 11/20/21. That's a couple minutes from now. The term of the contract, term of the agreement shall be a period of 2 years from July 1st, okay. July 1st of 2021 to June 30th, 2023. This agreement may be terminated by either party upon 6-month written notice. No, except one payment or 4 installments. Yeah. I'm still kind of confused about, the 9th of November.
What's the cover letter?
Yeah. 24/7/365. There's no cover letter. Doesn't say anything. Yeah. There's a review of the contract proposal. Oh, recognize it. I didn't read that first. A 0 increase fee structure from 21. All right. I'm confused, but what does that say to you? 2021. Does that look like it's written wrong on the top? I don't know. All right with me, but it looks kind of funny. Looks kind of strange. This is a sample of what they're doing down in Highgate.
That's, the top one is what we've done for Sheldon, isn't it?
Highgate.
Oh, yeah, I thought there was a copy there, but
What's that?
I thought we put a copy, we put a copy in.
Doesn't here, and then there's a letter in here about Franklin.
Those are what Franklin and Heights doing.
Oh, yeah. So we gotta get our work done so we get on.
That informational meeting, so it can be on that piece, right?
On this.
Yeah,
You're gonna send out this to the residents.
so when we can do the informational meeting.
So are those towns, that's what they're looking at, is those towns are what they're sending out to their public?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they doing one informational meeting or 2?
I believe they're doing one. I don't know what that is for.
No, let me see here.
The school board usually does too, don't they?
Yeah.
Do they do two?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They don't think it,
Now they do one.
now they're just doing one. Oh, yes, they got the big marker there.
Because I wasn't sure if we should be doing one, before the date of the 14th that you have down, so that way if people have questions about warning something on the meeting, that they could get it on there, and then have one after the 25th. That's just my looking at your little postcard that you're gonna send out, or we're gonna send out.
Yeah,
Highgate's letter says an informational meeting on all town meeting day articles will be held Monday, February 22nd, 6:30 via Zoom or call in. This recording will also be available on Northwest Access TV or on the website to view at your convenience. To file a petition for articles to be included in the town meeting, please submit by January 14th.
yeah.
And you have to have 5% of their registered voters
Yeah.
sign, signatures. So, pretty cut and dry. That's always been the case, pretty much anyway.
Yeah, we've always tried to get everything for the warning done before the book goes out.
Right. Right, those dates have to do with getting it out
But those are statute dates. Like, anybody that wants anything on the agenda,
Right,
hearing,
yes,
they have to be, those are in statute.
That's
And
right.
they are on that card. So they, if they got the card, you probably would
yes,
do a meeting before.
right, we're gonna. Oh. Right. I don't suspect it'll be much different than it ever is. The only thing that's just gonna be different is that candidates for offices,
Have to sign a consent form too.
right. If you're interested in being in any positions, where's that part? Two, huh? Oh. I don't see anything on there.
There's a form too that, and it's said in that.
Right, to run for town office on the ballot, please return consent or candidate form by Monday, January 25th. For a list of, a list of offices, see
Go to
town website or Facebook page. Da, da, da. Act 162 waives signature requirements for nominating petitions. So, could be interesting. There you go. What'd you get out of that contract?
They screwed up I'm not sure why
They screwed up something there. That
just
ain't,
the date on top, I think.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, this day is not today.
Yeah.
No, because it was sent to us. I mean, I probably got that in.
They
Somebody
probably
wrote,
did it the 9/11, but it should have been 2020.
Yeah,
did 2020,
right.
so,
But they also sent you an invoice for fiscal year 2022 with a date on it 7/01 of 21.
Because that's when it'll be due.
That's when it'll be due.
I can follow it.
we'll sign the contract, they'll figure, the clerks will figure out the paperwork.
Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah, the contracts are right. It's just that up on the top, somebody
Well, it looks confusing. Don't you
filled
agree?
in that date. Yeah, it does. It's confusing.
They printed, yeah, it's typed 21.
Yeah, that's really screwed up.
Well, they can fix that if they want. There we have it. Get that out of the way. Gee. What else we got to do here? This is the approved letter to be mailed for town meeting.
But we have to set is the informational meeting. We have to set that date, because that's on that card.
I don't see.
What, do it the week before town meeting or?
I think that's what Heidi is, the Monday.
So February the 23rd, that'd be the Tuesday before that we'd have a meeting on the 22nd. And then do the Zoom, the informational meeting the next night. That'd be a week before town meeting.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, that would probably work, huh?
yeah, this is their schedule right here. Peggy's schedule. Their informational meeting is February 22nd. 6:30 p.m.
We have a board meeting that night already, unless you want to do it before that or do it a separate night.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, that sounds good to me. 6 o'clock?
On the 22nd or on the 23rd?
We could just do it the 22nd and then, just do our meeting afterwards.
Right,
That's fine with me.
It probably won't take long, you know,
Yeah.
that way we can get it all done one night.
right.
So February 22nd,
February 22nd.
what time, 6:30?
I think 6 o'clock. What do you think? 6:30?
Beck, what do you think?
6:30. I don't think there's a massive difference.
Okay.
You guys set the time and I'll be there.
Well, if you start early, if we're going to do the select board meeting the same night, I'm just thinking there as things run into one into the other, I'd rather start half an hour early than.
So let's say 6 and start our meeting at 7:30 like we normally do. That gives an hour and a half.
And that'll give us a break in between if we need it,
Yep.
or we can go,
Yep.
we can just go right into it. We'll have
That
a
works.
select board meeting to follow. And, right, and then these other numbers, these other dates here probably work for us too. You know, one day or another.
And then it's just the regular voting on town meeting day.
Right?
Yep.
Right? You're gonna put out a similar, we're gonna draft something similar to this and send it right out.
So what happens if we don't have anybody sign up for positions there to run?
They can be voted.
They have to be write-in.
Well, there'll be. Oh,
Because we'll have, listed position,
Is there an option for write-in?
There will be,
There will be.
Yeah,
yeah, you have to have it, because if there's no,
any race you have to be able to
Yeah.
right in,
write in a candidate.
right, so. You know.
But it would be nice to get some interested people that you could put their name down on a ballot.
Right. Well, the letter will go out. It'll be it'll be different than other years, and there might be some people there that'll, you might actually, I don't know, you might get more action than you think. Possible.
Kim, when are you thinking you're gonna get these, or when would you be sending out these letters? These
hopefully in the next week.
yeah.
Right, and then it might even be, I don't know, even, well, then the town report will go out.
We're looking at postcards to go out for these cheaper.
Yep.
I liked what you sent us.
You like that one?
Yeah.
That's what we have, and all we use is the date.
Well, I thought that was fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cut and dry, it's pretty much cut and dry anyway. You do so.
They're talking though in legislature, they might, move the date of town meeting.
Oh, really?
To-
They're all for
to
We get,
wait for it.
we get the vaccine, people can come in and get a shot.
Geez.
Just sit at the meeting.
Why don't we just leave, I mean, we've got this all set up here,
Exactly.
just get it.
All right.
I'm kind of disappointed there, because I was looking forward to town meeting this year, because we got the, you know, the gym's been all redone, the school's been redone, and it would have been kind of a nice, it would have been nice to go to school, having it, you know, been all refurbished and go in the gym. But That'll happen soon. Minutes from last meeting. I'm gonna read those. So I didn't see the letter, but I don't have it here, but it looks fine to Seth, and it must be good enough to go with it. So go ahead with your letter you got. If it's similar to these others, it's fine. I'll read the minutes as follows. Stephen called the meeting to order, read the agenda additions made. At the end, they would have an executive session. Select board discussed town meeting plans. Nick made a motion to go to Australian ballot for all voted articles, seconded by Seth. All in favor. Notice to be sent to all active voters to inform the change. Board elected Stephen Dodd to sign all warrants on behalf of the select board starting 11/23/20 and going forward. Clerk will email all members warrants for the meeting. Stephen read the minutes from November 9th meeting. Seth motioned to accept as read, seconded by Nick. All in favor. Board approved Wi-Fi hotspot for fire department and town clerk's office. Signed warrants 2049 and 2050. Seth motion to enter into executive session at 8:10, seconded by Joe. All in favor. 9 o'clock executive session ended and discussed highway employment and Missisquoi hydro tax appeal. Motion made by 9 o'clock. Motion made by Stephen to adjourn, seconded by Seth. Meeting adjourned. Reported by Kim Dufresne. Does that sound like what went on? So
I have a question about the Wi-Fi hotspots. At the meeting, did we decide that we were putting on the town clerk?
The meeting, the minutes read board approved Wi-Fi hotspots for fire department and town clerk's office.
Right, and I'm asking if we, at the meeting, do we discuss the problems with the town clerk's office and nix that there? And that wasn't in the minutes, or was that after the meeting? Cam, do you remember?
That was after the meeting.
Okay.
So is this correct or no?
No.
Yes.
Town clerk's office is not going to be a hotspot.
Okay.
I can correct it.
Right, but the minutes are correct.
Okay, so eliminate
minutes-
the town clerk's office out of the picture.
I'll correct it on.
The minutes were correct. It was after the meeting at a later date that.
Oh, they were already corrected. They're just not correct here.
No,
Yes.
correct there. You corrected
No.
it that meeting.
The issue was corrected afterwards. The minutes are
Do
fine.
I need an amendment to correct the minute?
No,
Okay.
no. I was seeking clarification of the minutes, that's all.
Okay. Very good. All those in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
All right.
Okay. That was easy. Okay. I guess. Steve signs all the warrants and approved the minutes. Old business. Employee
Sorry?
calls. Employee in general, is it my understanding there's an application there? Our new part-time. Should we entertain the idea, or I want to entertain the idea of whether or not we want to interview this individual?
Do you want to go into executive to talk about this, or is this?
I don't know. I guess it's just a yes or no if you want to interview him. And if we could get together at least 2 or 3, or at least a couple of select board members to interview them and then report back to the group. Report back, that's my thinking anyway. I don't know.
With the person we have right now, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, he has an application in for the full-time position. So Greg's wondering, should we, couple of us interview him? To see what we think of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can talk about it, all of us together, and talk about it, and what we, whoever went, what have they got out of him, and then we can make a decision.
The other thing I was thinking about is if we also need to sit down, a majority of us, or at least some of the board needs to work on the budget. And that might coincide if we did have a few if we start having budget meetings, we could also include that interview with the budget meeting. You know, because we got to put some numbers together for the upcoming year. So I think the board's going to be meeting, or some of the board anyway, is going to be meeting in some afternoon meetings here at some point to create a budget. So whether or not I thought, it might work out well to perhaps interview the candidate and then make a decision as to whether or not that's the candidate we would hire or not. Right now he's working out, I guess, as part-time. I haven't heard any bad news. He only hit one mailbox.
His time card looks like he's a little more than part-time, but.
Yeah. We used him, Seth and I discussed that a little bit, and he's been spending a little more time because he wanted to get him abreast of the roads and a little more experience under in front of the upcoming snow events, whatever we get. Without a little more, a little easier for Seth and Johnny to get to know him, and then he get his route down and so on and so forth. Anyway, how do you feel about that?
About interviewing him? I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Well, and budget meeting, and kind of put two of them together, I can't imagine he would interview more than 15 or 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then we could, put together a budget meeting at the same time, kill a couple of birds with one stone.
I would assume that we're gonna have quite a few budget meetings like last year, right? So we're gonna have to do some.
Usually, generally there, we have at least 3 or 4, or at least 2 or 3.
Right. So we're gonna probably have to do some of those through Zoom, right?
Perhaps, yeah. That's up to you.
Yeah, I would anticipate.
Have Kim send out the budget, this year's budget. I had her printed off for me today, and I think got a copy for Greg.
Yeah, she emailed it to us too.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Right.
I guess we can just start looking through it, see if anything sticks out, and then we can start discussing it.
Right.
Yep.
Get our priority, and start reviewing it. We'll kind of come, studying that, and
you wanna try to set a meeting with him before the next meeting, or what's your thoughts?
Well, usually we have a budget meeting, at least one in December. So. It has,
The next meeting is the 28th. Robert Fletcher just continued on that.
Oh, that's a regular select board meeting. So.
Could you guys do an afternoon?
What day and when?
Well, I don't
Yep.
know, you tell us. We're self-employed, so
Yeah.
that's good. A little different than yours, that's why I'm asking what you guys
Next.
could do.
Next week and the week after are good for me. It's holiday break.
Oh, okay.
Next week.
Yes, next week and the week after.
Yeah, you, Nick.
Yeah, I'm off the 23rd. So, I mean, as long as it was, you guys set a date and time. If it conflicts with a meeting or something at work, I'll get in when I can.
The 20. What'd you say? You're off on the 23rd?
Yep. So that's when I start holiday.
That's when you start your holiday?
Yeah.
It's next Monday or Tuesday, what's the date?
21st is.
21st is Monday. 22nd is Tuesday. 23rd is Wednesday.
I would
That's
hope.
too close to holiday.
You want to do it this week or later this week or? I don't care. How much? I mean, we can interview Jim and not do any budget work. We just interview him just because he's got an application and I think he's worth reviewing. And then get our opinion of him and see how he interviews. That would be, I don't know. I'd say we're either going to do it, if we do a budget meeting, we're either going to do it a week from tonight or later this week. As soon as you get in, you start going into the week of Christmas there, well, that gets confusing.
I can do a week from tonight. That's fine.
That's the 21st.
Yep.
And that would be like in the afternoon.
Yep.
Like, let's say, 1 o'clock
Yep.
on the 21st.
Yep. I can do that. Interview them then.
So self-employed guys probably could do that. Nick, is that something you could attend or?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd like to get at least, three, we could have a meeting and interview him, and then we could we could also express some of our budget ideas at that point as well. Or at least, make a stab at it.
Yep.
Like I said, there'll be 3 or 4 of those meetings, and generally the last one here is where we get sick of it and approve one.
Yep.
And we'll get reminded of the, as you work on the budget, you come up with different ideas, always. Okay, the 21st, 1 o'clock, we'll see if that if there's not a horrendous snowstorm and Jim can, I'm assuming he'll be able to meet with us. And we'll do a little budget work that same day too, as time allows. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. And this employee policy, did you make final draft of that or?
I did not send that to Kim of that one section, but that was the only, I was waiting for everyone else's comments and everything else.
Okay. So,
I had no comments, and Joe indicated he had no comments.
so we can, now before, we had discussions earlier that we wanted to finalize that before we did another hire, right?
Yep.
Yes. So perhaps we'll put that on board for the next meeting to approve then.
Yep.
That sound reasonable?
Yep.
Okay. And so the town, we got the resignations here addressed and the dispatch contract. Letter to go out to the town meeting, approve the minutes and, yeah. So I guess we're in good order. Anything else to discuss?
Yeah, I have a question. I was looking at the budget that Kim had sent, and I know that, you know, since you brought up the discussing next year's budget,
Mhm.
kind of wondering where we're at with the auditors. I see that we haven't paid out anything to an actual
Yeah.
audit. I'm not sure when that's supposed to
Discuss
happen.
that. The clerk is in communication with them. Is that right?
Yes, today I sent them, all the information they requested, and now they're going through it and sending things for me to send back to them. They're gonna physically be here, I believe it was January 24th. So that, we started.
Which is
Okay.
pretty much about the same as our local auditors used to do. They'd show up here when, actually, they're ahead of time. All right, our local auditors used to show up just in time to right in the middle of when she's trying to put the book together. And, yeah. So, yeah, I asked her the same question there last week. Yeah.
Sound good. I was just making sure that we had something going on that before we figured out what we wanted to pay or allocate next year for it.
I almost think we're not gonna be billed this year until next year.
Well, they have to have it by town meeting day, right?
Yes, the audit will be completed, but to pay the auditors, I don't believe we're gonna be paying them until 2021.
Okay.
Unless they send a portion of the bill this month. I think it was gonna be paid upon completion, wasn't it?
Probably most of the bill will be on next year's
Budget.
budget.
But if we budgeted for it last year though, why would we include that new price for 2021 if we don't know that we're going to go with them again after a 1 year?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
We gotta pay them next year. You know, the money didn't get used in the 2020 budget, but it'll get used. We're gonna need money in there for 2021 to pay them for their work.
Right, and then you're gonna pay someone else, or someone will get paid to audit the following year, whether it knows that party or not. The bill's gonna be, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I believe the bill is gonna be like a year behind because we are a calendar year, not fiscal.
We thought of changing the,
What's that?
Change the fiscal year of the school instead of a calendar.
pain in the ass that first year, because you have to do a year and a half budget.
Right. The town go to the, what is it, July or?
The school goes fiscal July to July or June.
July 1st to June 30th. Yeah.
Right.
We go
It's just-
January to December.
I don't know.
start spending money before you get a budget approved. But place has gotta run, so.
No, you actually, yeah, you do.
Well, not if you went from the June to, you know, the July 1st to June. That way you get your budget past the town meeting day and then you start spending it in July. But right now, we start spending it before we get it approved. But to make that change, you're gonna have to do a 1.5-year budget. And you're gonna have,
And you'll have to warn it, right?
yeah, you have to warn it. That's-
Well, that's a discussion for the, if you wanna do that this year, or it might be better to, I think the voters might have enough confusion as it is.
Yeah.
That might be the next.
So keep it as simple as possible as you're.
All
Yeah,
roll.
a lot of towns have gone to the fiscal year. One whole report would be done before.
You're right.
Except for one.
You send out 2 tax bills because you got that half year.
Yeah.
I think that's how they did it when they switched over and was it Swan that did that?
Spot you did it, I did.
A lot of
Towns send out 5 or 6 tax bills anyway. So. All right, where are we at? Any other business?
I would like to talk about employees, if we could, for a quick second, executive, and that's all I have.
Okay. You want executive session then?
Yep.
Okay, we can do that. Motion for executive session has been made by Seth. We need a second.
I'll second.
Very good then, all in favor?
Aye.
Very good. We'll go into executive session and then we'll adjourn from there.